Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are not at the house today. We will be here shortly, but we are making a pit stop at Tractor Supply. I am on the hunt for a few different breeds of chickens, specifically those that lay darker eggs, and then I would like to get, I have an Easter egger that lays the light green eggs, but I'd also like to have some light blue and maybe even white chicken eggs.
Wait, we used to have those.
Well, we have the green Easter egger.
Yeah, the light blue eggs, we used to have those.
Yeah, we are potentially going to start selling our chicken eggs, and I would just like to have a variety of colors to give out. I am also getting ready to start seeds, and I would like to pick up a few seeds that I am missing. I also want to look at getting some onion starts and maybe even some seed potatoes. I saw them when we were here last, but I did not pick any up, so hopefully they will have those. And then we also have to get a few other bits and bobs while we're here. So I figured I'd bring you guys along with. Fingers crossed they have everything we need. I know they do.
Sounds good.
Got it, buddy?
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna go get Sissy out.
Alright.
I don't know if these look very good.
These are onions.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that dirt got in my eye.
Oh no, are you okay? Some of them are dead. Completely out of chickens. No luck on the chickens. Some seeds, yeah. I've never grown onions or potatoes, so I have no idea what to even be looking for.
Well, I know the
Yeah, they sprout on the ground, but I don't know what.
Oh, you have to get row potatoes.
That's not right. I did not get any onions because they did not look good. I think I'm gonna look at one of the other feed stores in the area where we get our chicken feed from, but I did get a few different varieties of potatoes. Now we're looking at actual seeds. I love growing zinnias, so I'm going to get quite a few of those. I also need to pick up some nasturtiums because I am low on those. Alright, we're back in the car. I did get some seed potatoes, some more berry bushes because we'd like to have quite a lot of berry bushes, kind of like almost an orchard, I guess. So we're trying to buy at least one bush per week right now. Then I got seeds, so I will show you those. We did not get the hoof trimmers, the dog clippers. We have like a dog filer, but we need clippers for one of our dogs because she does not like the filer. And then no chicks, no onions. So we're gonna have to look at a different feed store for that. But when I get home, I will show you what varieties I've got of
I know
which.
which store has chicks.
What?
It's one by where the...
Yeah, you guys saw them over the weekend, but they didn't have the right ones that we wanted. Remember? We're gonna head back to the house now. We just got back home and I'm getting ready to bring everything in. The kids are making their way in. But really quick before I show you guys the seeds and what varieties I got of things, I need to get dinner going. I forgot to pull out meat earlier. So I have some pre-cut chicken that I vacuum sealed and froze, and we are going to get that unthawed so that I can make dinner. I didn't have anything planned, but I'm thinking that maybe I'm going to do like a chicken pot pie or something super easy. Not like a traditional chicken pot pie, but some sort of variation of it. I don't know, but I've got that going now, so I'm going to go out and get the seeds and stuff. Okay, it's a little bit later now. I have pretty much gotten my seed starting set up complete, with the exception of putting the last lamp on. I actually will have one extra lamp, and we'll have to order another set because each of these shelving units have 3 shelves that I can actually use lights on. I have never tried these lamps out before. They are much brighter than the ones I used previously, and they are bigger, so I'm really hoping that they worked out. Previously, I had a hard time with my starts being leggy, meaning they were too far from the light and the light wasn't as powerful enough. If I need to raise my seedlings up closer to the light, I think I'm just gonna put something underneath rather than moving these shelves, because they are a little bit of a pain. Once you get them like fully set in and down, trying to get them up is a little bit of a pain. Figured I'd take a pause from this and show you guys what we got at Tractor Supply earlier. I'm gonna start out with my berry bushes. This time around, I did get a blueberry bush. We do have 2 blueberry bushes planted already. So the first time around of buying berry bushes, I did not get one. This time I did. It is the variety Misty. These are for zone 5 through 10. They had another one there that was zones 5 through 8. And because we're 8B, I was just not sure if 8 on there would include us. So I wanted to make sure I had extra room with the 5 through 10. This is a raspberry bush. This is the variety Heritage. This one is 3 through 10. Then I also picked up a blackberry. This is a thornless blackberry. The variety is Triple Crown. This one is hardiness zones 5 through 9. So far I have 2 blackberries, 2 raspberries, 1 blueberry, plus the 2 that's already out in the yard. And we've had those for a couple of years now. They are not very big because I was not taking good care of them. But the last couple of years I've really been like maintaining them, fertilizing them and stuff, and they're starting to grow pretty good. We did have June bearing strawberries. However, I just kind of let them go. We moved them to multiple different spots and they just were not doing good. But we have a problem with ants, and so ants kept getting into all of the berry beds. It was driving me nuts. I also did not like the fact that they were June bearing, which means that they only produce strawberries during the month of June. So we were getting a very small harvest, honestly, because of the ants and the issues we were having. Only like a couple here and there, but these are ever bearing, so it'll be summer through fall of a harvest. The variety is Sequoia, and 10 plants come in one of these containers. This is hardiness zone 4 through 9, so currently I have 20 strawberry plants. I would like to get these planted out sooner rather than later. So that is it for our berry bushes so far. I would like to start getting some fruit trees as well. I just need to do a little bit more research to see which ones are best for our zone in our area. And I also need to see which ones need 2 trees, which I'd rather get at least 2 trees, but I know like some of them need at least 2 trees to pollinate. Okay, the next thing that I got is not a berry bush. Got some horseradish. I've never grown this before. I've heard that horseradish is really easy to grow, so I'm hoping that's the case. I've also heard that it grows very plentifully. Then moving on to the seeds. These are the first seeds that I've bought this year. I got flower, herbs, and veggie seeds. Some of these I've planted before, some of them I have not. I'm excited for some of the new ones. Last year was a really bad year for our garden because I started so late. I was waiting for a greenhouse because the year prior my greenhouse blew over in a windstorm and I did not have one. I just had one of the cheap ones, and honestly it works really well, especially down here in Georgia because it gets so hot. Eventually I would like to have a more solid greenhouse. However, that has just not happened yet. This year I would really like to focus on a lot more herbs. I have always done well with vegetables and fruits. However, I have not done so well with herbs. I just have a hard time getting them started because they take a little bit longer. So I've got catnip. I've got rosemary. I have a really big rosemary bush out in the garden right now. I mean, it's not massive, but it is good in size. However, I noticed that with the fluctuations in the weather last year, it seems not to be doing so well, so I'm not sure if it's going to come back this year. So I want to start a good bit by seed so that I can have them all over the place. And I also got some German chamomile and lavender, English lavender, and Homestead lavender. Next, I have flowers. Last year was the first time I actually planted a good bit of flowers in the garden, and initially I had planted a wildflower bunch, or like a pollinator bunch, and I had a good bit of flowers come out of it, but it was just not the best turnout. So then I had torn it out and I planted a bunch of zinnias, and they were stunning. They produced so well and I absolutely love them. So I got a few different varieties of zinnias. I probably am going to get some other ones. This is the variety Envy, and it is a beautiful green zinnia. This one I'm super excited about. I saw them too late last year to plant any, but I'm excited to this year. It is the candy cane zinnias. I am specifically excited for the traditional red and white candy cane. And then I think that is it for the zinnias. I will be getting more because they were beautiful. And then I also, I forgot to put these in the herbs. I got 2 packs of calendula this February to March, so I do need to get it planted out pretty much ASAP. I would love to have a good bit of calendula. This is the Pacific Beauty variety. And then I got 2 versions of marigolds. I got the Fairy's Best to Mix marigold, which is kind of like just a traditional coloring of it. And then I also got the Dwarf Bolero marigolds, again from Fairy Morris. Lastly, I got for flowers is carnations. This is the Chabad Giant Mixed Colors. Carnations are my favorite flower, so again, I would like to have more than just 1 pack of this, but I got this one to start. This is all of my fruits and vegetables that I've gotten so far. I need to look back through my seeds because I didn't before I went shopping like a silly goose. So I'm not really sure if there's anything that I'm missing. I know there's some certain tomatoes and peppers that I would like to grow. I just don't remember if I have seeds for them. Finally, I got the Burpee's Black Beauty eggplant, the triple treat pumpkin to make pumpkin puree out of. I am a sucker for like pumpkin spice beverages, pumpkin pie, pumpkin bread, pumpkin muffins, pumpkin cookie. I am a sucker for pumpkin during the fall, so I would really like to have those this year. I also got the Jubilee variety of watermelon. This is supposed to be a larger watermelon. I've never grown this variety. I also got a small fancy mix of gourds. I think it would be so much fun to decorate those for fall. I also got the large bottle gourds. I've seen people make birdhouses out of these, and I think that would be so much fun. Don't know how that works. I have to do research on it, but I grabbed them because I've never seen the seeds for them. This is another pumpkin. Again, decoration purposes. The Jack B. Little pumpkins. These are the cutest dang things ever, and I probably will get the ones that are tricolor as well. I can't remember exactly what they are, but they're orange, white, and then they have an orange and white. Super cute. Cucumbers, I have the Pickle Bush variety, Garden Sweet Burpless Hybrid cucumbers, and I also got the Market More 76 cucumbers. I also got the Tomatillo Gigante Verde. I think it's Gigante Verde. Anyway, these. I had massive tomatillo bushes. They self-seeded from the year prior. They were massive. It would be lovely if they would do that again. This is the only tomato variety that I got. Surprising. This is the Super Sweet 100 Hybrid tomato, and they just look so tasty that I could not pass them up. I am actually going to have the boys this year try out some hanging tomatoes out of like water jugs. So I thought those would be super awesome to have coming out of the hanging stuff. Could be completely wrong, but I'm really excited to try those. Last 2 seeds I got are summer squash. The first one is Butter Dish summer squash, and they just look absolutely delicious. These specifically are disease tolerant, which I really need. I have struggled with powdery mildew the last couple of years, so having ones that are disease tolerant makes my life easier. And the last one is the Ford Hook zucchini. This one doesn't say disease resistant or anything, and I haven't specifically gone out of my way to find ones that are. Now, as far as planting setup goes, I'm doing it a little bit differently this year as well. I would like to get some of the Bootstrap Farmer seed trays. However, I do need to get some seeds started. So I can't necessarily wait for those to come in. So my idea is using some of these fruit containers. It's another way for me to reuse them and not let them go to a landfill. So I purchased a pack of 4 heat mats a couple years ago when I first started doing them indoors, and I'm hoping that they still work. I gave them a good wash because they were outside under our open shed and they were quite disgusting, but they're all really well sealed, so I think that they're gonna work. Those, and then I have more of these plastic tray containers, but they're out in the garden in the greenhouse, I believe, and I did not get a chance to go out and grab them. I need to bring them in and wash them again, but my plan is to use these plastic strawberry containers and blueberry containers and soil block in them. So I think I can get probably 6 soil blocks in each of them, and then I plan on setting them in the tray like this. That way I can, one, have the dome over the top of it to have that humidity, but also I can, while I'm getting them to germinate, I can get top watering done. But then once they germinate or they get mature enough to be bottom watered, I can do that as well. And since the holes on the bottom are plentiful, I won't have to worry about soil not getting enough water. Also been getting a ton of pallets from a friend of ours, and I went ahead and cut a few pieces up. And what I'm going to do is I have some fine wire. It's like chicken wire. It's pretty small. I'm going to make kind of like a sifter basket for soil, because what I find with a lot of the soil that I get, it has really large chunks of wood in it, which I get are for drainage. But when it comes to seed starting and soil blocking, having those really large pieces of wood can prevent the soil block from packing well, and it can also take away from the soil, and so you don't have enough in general for the plant to grow. I don't really know how else to explain it. Also, while I have you, before I let you go, I wanted to give you an update on the worm farms. I'm super excited. Oh, look. Can you see the ladybug? I know the last time I showed you the worm farms, we only had 1 container going. Now, I'm proud to announce that we have 3 containers going. So this bottom one is where the mealworms are. They're just straight up mealworms, the ones that we will feed to the chickens eventually. We'll probably wait to start feeding them to the chickens until a lot of them have changed to the beetles, and maybe when we get that first flush of eggs that come through and grow up big enough to be fed, we'll probably wait until then. This middle container is the pupa, and we have a ton of pupa right now. They are molting and moving on to their next life stage very quickly. And then this top one is the actual beetles, and we have 2 beetles that have hatched completely out of the pupa stage into their beetle stage, which is really exciting. So it's all starting to come together, and it makes my heart so happy. If you guys haven't seen our one video, I think it was the last video actually, I was explaining that I started the worm farms to be more sustainable here on the homestead. The mealworm prices are just ridiculous for the amount that you get. So we would like to have them on our farm and eventually use it as an income source as well. Obviously not to the extent of what commercial mealworm is, but we are trying to find different ways to bring income into the homestead and bring Dustin home, because he does work full time right now. Now this other one I'm going to show you really quick. This one right here is our composting worm farm. I'm not going to open it because it stinks. However, we're having a little bit of an issue. So I had watched a video using 3 tubs like this, where the top tub is the one that you put your compost in. The middle tub is where the worms actively are initially. And then the bottom is to collect water from the compost, because it does put a lot of water off. And what the issue that we're having is, rather than the worms climbing up to the top to begin eating that food, like the video said that they will, a lot of the worms are dropping down into the bottom. There's no food there, and a lot of it is filling up with water. So I need Dustin's help to kind of, I don't want to like lift the middle bin out and drop it and put it on the floor. 1, because it's gross, and 2, because I'm scared to squish any worms. So we have to do some changing around of that. I think maybe what we're gonna end up doing is the top layer is going to be the active layer, and then the middle layer is where we'll put the compost and the food scraps, or sorry, the food scraps that will turn into compost, to kind of try and hopefully mitigate that issue. We also eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, so this top is getting really heavy and it makes me worried that it's squishing all the worms. So we're just gonna do a little switcheroo-ski and see if that helps. Dustin is not home yet. He had to help a friend out this evening, so hopefully he'll be home soon. I was supposed to be making a chicken pot pie, and building the shelves and everything has taken much longer than I anticipated, and Ruby has been a little bit clingy. I was gone on a trip over the weekend, so she has been soaking in all of her mama love. I have not gotten to making dinner yet. I probably won't be making a chicken pot pie because it is already late. So now I need to figure out a chicken dinner. When editing this video, I realized I forgot to include my potato varieties that we got. So really quickly, before we end the video, I got the Silverton Russet seed potatoes, red Norland seed potatoes, and Yukon Gold seed potatoes. Those are like the only ones that we eat. They did have a blue seed potato there, but I've heard mixed reviews on it and we have never eaten them, so I did not pick those up. Actually just started, let's see, 6 trays of seeds. That'll be in a completely different video. So I did have a chance to look through all of my seeds. I do need to get a couple of things still. I think honeydew is one of them. That will be in another video. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one. Bye guys.